Hey there, what's happening YouTube? Thanks for tuning back into the channel today, right here with the Rust Belt Mechanic. Today we're talking nifty tools of the week. I know you guys love these, and this week we are talking diagnostic tools. We've got 3 nifty new diagnostic tools, a couple brand new to the market that you guys are going to love to check out. We've got everything from back probes, new meters, and a new breakout box. Going to be some really cool stuff. Stay tuned. So the first nifty tool that we're going to come to tonight is this 20-piece back probe kit from Matco Tools. Part number on this one is MDBP 23500. Like I said, 20-piece back probe kit that comes with just about everything that you guys will need for back probing and testing smaller circuitry and wires inside of vehicles. Now, there's some things that you need to test with the circuits that are fully connected. If you're doing voltage drop testing, you're going to have to be back probing certain wires. This kit is one of the easier ones to be able to do that one. Comes with 3 or 4 different styles of different connector tips for back probing. Comes with straight tips, 45-degree angle, as well as 90-degree tips there for the back probe ends. Using a standard 4mm banana jack. Also here with these connector ends, you've got the banana jack at one end and you have the alligator clip at the other end. Like I said, 20-piece kit, color-coded for the size or the angle at which they are. Really nice, easy kit. Something that any early diagnostician is going to like. Not going to take a lot out of your pocketbook either. Standard MSRP price on this one's going to be $31.95. A couple weeks ago, I had picked this one up off the truck. It was on special for about 26 bucks, so real nice, easy, nifty tool. One of these that you should definitely check out to put in your diagnostic box. The next nifty tool this evening is going to be coming from Cars Certified Tools, and this is their OBD2 breakout box. Now, I know there's a whole lot more of these out on the market right now, running anywhere from $60 to $150 or so, but they are not nearly as advanced as what one of these are. And with the amount of things that this unit actually does, I don't know how I got by without it before. So I picked this one up a couple of weeks ago off of a friend's request and got to using it, and I am absolutely in love with it for a ton of reasons. So as you can see here on this breakout box, it is a full pass-through design. This end is going to plug into the vehicle, and then this one also allows the unit as acting like a pass-through port for any kind of scan tools or diagnostic tools that you have. Here in the end of your connector that you're going to plug into the vehicle, it also has an availability to put the small watch battery inside of there, and it has a nice little LED light to light up where you're looking for your OBD2 connector. So really nifty there. Now, as far as the unit goes, it is very comprehensive. As you can see, it has the different pinouts for all 16 pins on your standard OBD2 connector. Each one of these also has its very own LED light set. Also over here, you're going to have your selection of pin number as well as the corresponding volts for that. You've got a couple of indicator lamps up here, an OK, and a warning indicator as well. So you're going to see here in just a minute when I hook this up to a vehicle, all the different things that it can do. When you hook it up, we're either going to see that the system is OK, or we have a warning indicator based on the voltage, which is standard at pin 16, which is supposed to be our standard battery voltage. This also has all 16 pins here to be able to put your probes in from your standard 1mm jack for your multimeter to be able to test each one of these things. And like I said, with being a pass-through, you can test them as this thing is working with the scan tool already on the system. Has them all individually labeled here right on the unit as well. Everything from your OEM standard ports are going to be the yellow outline. Your power here in the corner, CAN and K-line bus systems, as well as your low voltage ones there, VPN, VPW, pulse width modulation one, they're at pin 10, so it's all labeled individually, as well as your indicators for each one of these circuits. Now in the instructions, it tells you what each one of these little LEDs has the capability of reading. Most of the time when there's voltage in each one of these circuits, it will either show a blue or a green LED, that is for a standard good circuit for those, or it will show up as a red one. That shows an out of normal, I guess, occurrence. So if you're shorted to voltage or shorted to ground when it shouldn't be, then it's going to pop up a warning so you know immediately that you have an issue as soon as you hook this thing up to a vehicle. So let's go plug this thing in and see what kind of readings and different selections we can use it for. So we've got a 2019 Chrysler Pacifica here that we're going to hook up into our diagnostic port, and we're going to see what kind of readings and functions that we can get from this one here. As you can see right off the bat, it goes to a standard pin number 16, which is our power source. So that one obviously is going to come up red because it is in the correct range. Now the other cool thing that this has is an audible warning. So if you have a warning for low or high voltage, which is set at a certain voltage amount, it will beep and it will tell you that you have an issue with either that or with one of your other pins. Then we can see we can plug our standard scan tool, which is going to be our Chrysler one that pops in right here. We see it plugs in and gets connection right away, and we are able to then flip through any one of the functions for all the rest of the pins on here. All we're going to have to do is hit our select button, and let's turn on our ignition here so we make sure that everything is live. Select button, and it's going to go through the different pins and the outputs voltage wise that is with that certain pin. And 2, 3, averaging it out obviously because that's a bus communication line for the OEM. 2.4, obviously the connecting one, 2.4 volts. Nothing. We can see the flashing lights, our OEM stuff that is starting to talk within that, so that's flashing there as we're kind of got the vehicle connected to the scan tool as well. Pin 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and then it goes back through to 1. And if you ever want to go back to pin 16, all you have to do is hit the little reset button and it goes there to your starting pin at number 16, showing its congruent voltage right there along with it. Like I said, it's a really nice, convenient little tool to be able to use. Going to keep you from shoving your pins for your meter into each one of those pins on the OBD2, and it has the smart capabilities and functions that nobody really thought they really wanted or needed. Before you even get into the diagnostic section of it, all you need to do is plug this right into it, and immediately, if you had a shorted out, say, CAN bus network, you would know right away. So jumping in before you even get into the diagnostic side of things, that much quicker to be able to use this tool for that. When each one of these circuit lines has its own programmed in voltage value to know whether it's within good range or it's at a warning level, a warning range, it's going to know that, and it's going to be able to tell you that ahead of time, which I think is a fantastic idea for an age-old tool that helps you already in the first place. So where can we find this OBD2 breakout box? You can find this one over at thewrenchingnetwork.com. I will put the link down in the description to it below. Normally these things run $2.99. They're running these on sale right now for 225 bones, which I think is a fantastic deal for a really nifty tool. Now moving on to our third and final nifty tool of the week. This is our Kurion N2 Neuron graphing Bluetooth multimeter. Now before we jump into this one, I wanted to be upfront with all of you and my subscribers to just let you know that there is a promotion going on with this one, in which any sales from this video or ones that I do in which you use a coupon code will be getting a kickback to the channel, which I will be using for future videos and everything. So I just wanted to let you guys know on that one that after this review, if you guys do end up liking it and do end up purchasing it and you want to support the channel, that is one easy way to be able to do so. So a percentage of these sales will be going back to the channel. So just wanted to let you guys know with that one. With the development of this tool, I've been kind of helping Kurion and giving them some options and ideas for kind of moving forward with their app and ease of use of the tool on this one. So we wanted to be able to bring this to you just before it comes out on market to give you an initial jump on it coming out. Now I know it's not a world's first, but I know it is going to be one of a market's best Bluetooth graphing multimeter on the market today. There are very few of those as it is, and this one pretty much covers all the bases. So here's the unit itself. What this is going to be is an actual multimeter that is also a 2-channel graphing multimeter. Now we can't really exactly say this is an oscilloscope, of course, but a graphing meter to what it's capable of is definitely an understatement. this thing is going to be functioning with one of the highest Bluetooth connection rates. We're going to be connecting at over 24 bits for the connection rate on this one. So doing any kind of parasitic draw testing, testing on certain sensors, speed sensors, graphing those, recording, it's going to be able to handle all of them. You're going to be able to function as a standard multimeter as well as a 2-channel, I guess what would function as a metered scope in that arena. So on the standard function, you're going to have your common and your voltage, amperage, or your ohms in your resistance reading right there. Now the other thing that you're going to be able to also do in the app and different functions, should you want to do that, is you have multiple inputs at multiple times. So let's go open up our app and let's see a couple of the features that we're going to be able to do with this Bluetooth meter. So for testing today, we do have our iPad set up here. Now just letting you know, for the application, it is available for iOS as well as Android systems. So any kind of iOS or Android tablets, it is fully capable of matching to either one of those. We're going to have a free app that is free to download, 100% free, and we're going to sync to our meter. This one's going to pop up. We've got a connection right away to our meter right there. Then we've got our standard meter setup that pops up right away. Standard on this one, we've got our current, voltage, and we also have some of our third channel to this one in your real power and your watts output. All of this can be adjusted and changed as we want to go. We can change this top one to our internal temperature, auxiliary voltage, resistance, diode drop, or here on our voltage DC, which would be our second channel, we can change to any of these as well. So here on our board, I've got a little ATEC board set up just to give a simple little test to it. So on our ATEC test board, we've got a 12-volt circuit kind of hooked up here with a couple of bulbs just to show exactly what we're going to be working with. So we got our circuit turned on, and we're going to put our ground up here, right up here up top. There is a ground circuit up there, and then we're going to be able to test our voltages at different points. There we can see we've got 12 volts right there, testing voltage drop, of course, at this point. Here across those, we have dropped all of our voltage here in our voltage aspect in that area. If we want to switch over to our secondary channel on this one. Now if we switch this one, put it on our other channel, and switch over to our auxiliary voltage DC, we're going to be able to go over to a couple of different areas of very much a finer reading for our voltage reading output, which is going to be standard in millivolts right there. So our second voltage channel is going to be viewed right there. The really cool thing about this one is that we're able to run 2 channels at the same time. So if I wanted to run an amp meter at the same exact time being in circuit, or if you wanted to run something that was say an inductive clamp here on this one, then we could definitely do that one. Plug that into the ammeter portion of it. You could have your amperage reading and your voltage reading at the exact same time, able to do Ohm's law calculations all on the fly with those 2 numbers available. Now if we want to graph our sections, let's switch it back over to our standard voltage meter right here, and we're going to adjust this one to our voltage DC. We've got this one there, and now let's switch over to a little bit higher voltage at our 12-volt source, and let's go ahead and look at our graph. So this one is going to have the 24-bit graph to it. Obviously we're going to be ignoring the red section because that would be our ammeter section. Here we're jumping around a little bit, but if we look at our range isn't set that high, so we can see we're a little bit different. We turn our voltage off, we can see our graph green line drop way down. On, off. We can see it keeping up with each and every one of those single switches there on our graph. We can also do different configurations. Point to that, make that different and smaller data points, auto ranging in each one of those, and changing our data points and our ranging to each one of those. So very adjustable within the app. The app makes it very easy to be able to use for this one. So we can go back to our main page here on this one. Also, this is not just a metered portion of the app. We can go back here to our main page on the app, and we've got a couple of different things that we can access. The cool thing about Kurion is they're not wanting to just be a standard meter supplier. They're wanting to be an overall technician helper as well. So in the future, this app is not only going to be able to do this, but we're going to be able to share things across networks for either standardized testing for certain circuits, get help from certain people on, say, using and testing certain things on here. You've got one-on-one training with the actual unit. You've got different things for the community and being able to connect and talk with different technicians who are going to be using this one and using it in everyday kind of aspects here in the shop. You've got your manual for this if you're not really sure on how to use it, or how to hook certain things up if you wanted to be able to figure out how to do certain graphing, or if you wanted to use multiple channels at the same time, you are capable of doing that one. The other cool thing is you could also get multiple ones of these, hook them up, and be able to see multiple inputs from these on this same app at the same exact time. You don't have to connect to just one single one. So if you have multiple channels, say 3, 4, 5 channels, you could hook up to multiple ones of these, each one of these being able to handle up to 2 channels per unit. So really cool in that aspect. Now, I knew without doing a full comparison or full review on this, I am not doing this unit justice, but it does have quite a bunch of capabilities. The Neuron is rated to be a Cat 3 unit up to 600 volts. It is also able to internally handle amperage wise up through 10 amps. Yes, it does have a 12 amp internal fuse to it, obviously quick acting fuse, but again rated up through 10 amps. Internally, it does have a pretty easy to replace battery as well. Going to be just a AA battery located within the unit. 2 screws come off the back. The back case kind of pops open, and the internal battery on this one for the Bluetooth function is going to last right around 6 months. So 6 months of time with standard use with this single tool, that's a pretty good time frame on that one. Like I said, with the capabilities of this unit, I am just pretty much scratching the surface of what you technicians are going to be able to do with a unit like this one, especially in the hands of a good diagnostician. I'll be using this in some future videos coming up. I've had quite a few requests on doing a how-to automotive for beginners in electrical diagnosis, so we're definitely going to be using this unit for that in future videos, so make sure you guys stay tuned to that one. Now, where can you pick this unit up? You guys can go over to the Shop Kurion webpage, in which I will leave the link to this one down in the description below. Standard price on this unit is going to be $249.99. Now, I know as of right now at this moment, it is still in pre-order phase, but they are ready to ship pre-orders out very likely next week on the 27th. So you guys are getting in on this unit pretty early. You do get a free t-shirt and everything with ordering it, or if you end up getting the larger package, you're going to get a couple of shirts as well as the larger back probe pin out, the finer pins, different probes and everything, clamps that come with the different kit here with it. That one's going to run right at, I think, $600 or $649, right around there. I know it's a little bit pricey, but at this one, $249.99 for this single unit. I think that is a really good deal for the capabilities of this tool. Now, like I said earlier on, this is kind of a promotional product for the channel as well. If you use code RUSTBELT at checkout, you are going to get 10% off at checkout for that one. Their promotional deal offer, originally from $299 down to $249, saves you money, and then with the code RUSTBELT does get you an additional 10% off of that one. So make sure, if you guys are interested in that one, go ahead and use that code as well. And like I said earlier, there is a percentage of proceeds that is going to be kicked back to the channel for sales from my subscribers. So if you wanted a way to be able to support the channel, I know I haven't been putting out very much in the way of merchandise or anything, which I plan on changing here in the future. This is one way that you guys would be able to help out the channel, and I would be greatly appreciative of that one, but I just wanted to be forefront about that option. Well, guys, that's about all I have this week in our way of Nifty Tools of the Week for our diagnostic tools. Hopefully you guys enjoyed some of the choices that I had for this week. I know they have definitely been awesome tools. I've been testing and using the Neuron for going on 2 or 3 months now, and it really has helped a lot here in the shop. The OBD2 port, I've only had it a couple weeks, but killer tool all the same, and a couple weeks on the Matco tools has really helped for diagnostic things to be able to back probe the correct wires in the correct ways without breaking what we need to in the middle of the wiring. So if you guys like this, make sure you comment, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, hit that thumbs up button, and if you haven't already, make sure you turn on that bell notification so you get notified when I come out with cool, awesome content just like this one here today. I appreciate everyone tuning in, and as always, you guys stay awesome.